Lois Griffin is supposed to be the responsible one in the family, but over 20 seasons, she's done some truly terrible things to Peter. From sleeping with a president to seducing her daughter's boyfriend, Lois has crossed lines that should have ended their marriage. Today, we're breaking down every time Lois went too far. And trust me, some of these are unforgivable. Let's start with the most infamous moment. In Bill and Peter's bogus journey, former President Bill Clinton's limo breaks down in front of the Griffin house.
We're with President Clinton's motorcade. It seems he blew a tire in front of your house.
Peter and Bill become best friends, but Bill turns out to be a terrible influence. Lois gets fed up with Bill corrupting Peter, so she goes to Bill's hotel room to tell him off.
Mr. President, I need to have a word with you.
But instead of confronting him, Lois ends up sleeping with him.
Persuasive.
So I've been told. Hey, you want to give me
Peter
that?
literally walks in on them in bed together. Lois begs for forgiveness.
Peter! Look, I know this looks bad, and I feel horrible. I'm so sorry, Peter.
Lois, I
And
think
offers
maybe...
Peter a free pass to sleep with anyone he wants.
Well, the way I figure it, the only way to even things out between us is if you have sex with someone else, too.
Peter chooses Lois's mother, Babs.
Babs.
My mother?
Yeah.
What?
But when Peter goes to Babs's house, he can't go through with it.
Lois, wait. I can't do it. I can't go through it.
Meanwhile, Bill Clinton seduces Peter himself.
Boy, you are good. You are really good.
The episode ends with both Peter and Lois having been seduced by Bill Clinton. But the damage is done. Lois cheated on Peter with a former president. This is the most blatant case of Lois cheating on Peter. She slept with another man, got caught, and somehow their marriage survived. Peter should have left her right then and there. In Go Stewie Go, Meg finally gets a boyfriend named Anthony. He's a med student, and for once, Meg is happy, but Lois can't help herself. She starts hitting on Anthony. Anthony compliments Lois, telling her she's pretty enough to be a movie star.
Has anybody ever told you you're pretty enough to be a movie star, Mrs. Griffin?
Oh, my goodness. Well, I don't know about that.
This innocent compliment goes straight to Lois's head, and she starts fantasizing about him.
I bet you taste like Mountain Dew and Starburst.
Lois doesn't waste any time. She gives Anthony a note with her husband's work schedule, her poker game schedule, and even her menstrual cycle.
Your husband's work and poker game schedule?
My menstrual cycle's on there, too, but I don't mind if you don't.
Thanks.
Oh,
She's literally planning when they can hook up. Lois gets Meg out of the house and confesses her feelings to Anthony.
Let's not play games. The other day you said I was attractive. Now what are we gonna do about it?
Anthony is shocked but also flattered. He says he's never had a MILF come on to him before.
This is so cool. I've never had a MILF come on to me before.
Just as things are about to happen, Meg comes home and catches them.
Right?
Meg is devastated. Her mother just tried to seduce her boyfriend. Lois has to apologize to Meg, but then she tells Peter what happened.
Peter, I made out with Meg's boyfriend.
You made out with Meg's boyfriend? How the hell could you do that to me?
And Peter's response? He apologizes to Lois for making her feel old and ugly.
Lois, I think you're the most beautiful woman I ever seen in my life.
Well, but then why have you been saying all these horrible things?
Because I'm old and fat and unattractive and worthless.
This is insane. Lois tries to sleep with her daughter's underage boyfriend, and Peter apologizes to her. Lois went way too far, and she faced zero consequences. In The Sun Also Draws, the Griffin family takes a road trip to New York for Chris's Boy Scout issue.
I'm calling that damn troop leader right now. We're going over his head, straight to the U Scout head office in New York.
Peter needs to find a bathroom, and the only place available is an Indian casino.
Wow, an Indian casino!
While Peter is looking for a bathroom, Lois asks for directions.
Excuse me, can you tell me how to get to New York?
Well, sure, but what's your hurry, ma'am?
But then she sees a poker machine with flashing lights. She sits down to play, and she gets completely hooked.
How you doing?
Yeah.
That's good, honey. Let's go.
Lois becomes so entranced by the machine that she loses track of time. Peter has to literally drag her away from it. But when they go outside to leave, Lois drops a bombshell. Lois tells Peter she lost the family car.
Sort of bet our car.
She gambled it away at the casino because she couldn't stop playing. The family is now stranded with no way to get home. Peter has to undergo a ridiculous Native American trial to get the car back.
To prove you are truly a member of our tribe, you must go on a vision quest.
He has to spend a night in the forest without food or water to prove he's worthy, and he actually does it. Peter gets the car back.
Right? Here, you know what? Take your crappy car back. Come on, boy.
Lois's gambling addiction cost the family their car and nearly stranded them hundreds of miles from home. This was a serious problem, but the show just moved on like it never happened. In Throw It Away, Lois reads a book by Trisha Takanawa called Throw It Away, The Life-Improving Art of Decluttering.
Everyone, I just read Trisha Takanawa's book and it was really inspiring.
The book convinces Lois that she owns too much stuff and needs to simplify her life. Lois starts throwing away everything in the house. She gets rid of furniture, decorations, and personal belongings. The family watches in horror as Lois purges their home. But Lois doesn't stop at objects. She decides that her family is cluttered too. She kicks Peter,
What's happening again?
I'm asking you to leave the house.
The house that I paid for?
Chris,
Chris, I will not have your comic strip anger cluttering up my house. It's negative and it ruins my joy. Get it out of here.
Now you've done it.
Meg,
Get out, but get out of my house.
and Stewie out of the house and forces them to live in a storage unit. The family is living in a cramped storage unit while Lois enjoys the empty house by herself. She's completely abandoned her responsibilities as a wife and mother because of a self-help book. Eventually, Lois realizes she's made a mistake. She falls into a trash barge and is saved by garbage. She has an epiphany that everything is garbage and garbage is wonderful.
Everything's garbage and garbage is wonderful.
The family comes back home. The number one time Lois went too far is in Lois Comes Out of Her Shell. It's Lois's birthday, and Brian suggests throwing her a surprise party.
I think she might actually appreciate it if we threw her a party. Maybe even a surprise party.
That's a great idea, Brian.
But Peter ruins it with a terrible poem about how old Lois has gotten.
You may not be the young filly you were when I met you, but you're still my reliable old plow horse who's there each day to pull the plow, to help around the barn, and let the husband horse slap a batch at her now and then.
Peter's poem is brutal. He talks about Lois's wrinkles, her sagging body, and how she's past her prime. Lois is devastated. She has a complete midlife crisis and decides to act like a teenager. Lois disappears and comes back looking 20 years younger. She's wearing teen clothes, acting like a teenager, and hanging out with high school girls. She's completely abandoned her family. Then Lois sees that Justin Bieber is having a concert in town. She goes to the concert and appears on camera cheering for Bieber. The family watches in horror as Lois acts like a teenage fangirl on live television. But Lois doesn't stop there. She sneaks backstage and gets into Justin Bieber's green room. She's clearly planning to seduce him. Bieber is confused and uncomfortable because Lois is a middle-aged married woman. Lois tells Bieber to take his pants off.
Just get your pants off, hon.
She's about to cheat on Peter with a teenage pop star, but Peter bursts in just in time and beats up Justin Bieber to stop it from happening.
Stop right there! Get away from her!
Peter?
Who are you? How'd you get in here?
Old man! What, you think you're not gonna get old, you little bastard?
Peter and Lois have a heart-to-heart where Peter admits his own insecurities. They reconcile and go home together, but the damage is done. Lois was willing to sleep with a teenager because she was having a midlife crisis. This is the worst thing Lois has ever done. She abandoned her family, acted like a teenager, and tried to seduce Justin Bieber. Peter should have divorced her on the spot. Before we wrap up, there's one more moment worth mentioning. In Brian Sings and Swings, Meg befriends a girl named Sarah who is openly lesbian. Lois tries to help Meg fit in with Sarah's group.
So, how's my suddenly lesbian daughter doing?
But instead of helping Meg, Lois ends up passionately kissing Sarah herself. It's played for laughs, but it's another example of Lois crossing boundaries and betraying her family. Lois has a pattern of going after people connected to Meg. First Anthony, then Sarah. She seems to have no respect for her daughter's relationships or feelings. So why does Lois get away with all of this? The simple answer is that Peter always forgives her. No matter what Lois does, cheating, gambling, abandoning the family, Peter takes her back. Peter blames himself for Lois's behavior. When she cheats with Bill Clinton, Peter thinks it's his fault for being friends with Bill. When she hits on Anthony, Peter apologizes for making her feel old. The show treats Lois's terrible behavior as just another wacky Family Guy plotline. By the end of each episode, everything goes back to normal. There are no lasting consequences for Lois. This is what makes Lois's behavior so frustrating. She does terrible things, but she never faces real consequences. Peter should have left her years ago. Looking at all these moments together, there's a clear pattern. Lois acts impulsively when she feels unappreciated, bored, or insecure. She doesn't think about the consequences for her family. Whether it's sleeping with Bill Clinton, seducing Anthony, gambling away the car, or trying to hook up with Justin Bieber, Lois puts her own desires above her family's well-being. The show portrays Lois as the responsible parent, but these moments reveal that she's just as selfish and reckless as Peter, maybe even more so because she knows better. Lois went too far multiple times, and Peter should have left her. But this is Family Guy, where nothing has lasting consequences. So which moment was the worst? Was it sleeping with Bill Clinton and getting caught in bed? Was it trying to seduce her daughter's underage boyfriend? Was it gambling away the family car? Or was it the midlife crisis where she abandoned her family and tried to sleep with Justin Bieber? Each of these moments should have ended the marriage. The Bill Clinton affair is the most blatant cheating. The Anthony situation is the most disturbing because he was Meg's boyfriend. The gambling addiction was the most reckless, and the Justin Bieber incident was the most pathetic. But they all have one thing in common. Lois put herself first and her family second. That's what makes these moments so unforgivable. So there you have it. Every time Lois Griffin went too far, from sleeping with a president to seducing her daughter's boyfriend to trying to hook up with Justin Bieber, Lois has done some truly terrible things. Which moment do you think was the worst? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.